written to be a good friend, a great singer, an accomplished academic, and business owner that was the desire of all of the single women of Springfield at one point. Much like many of the citizens of Springfield, he's had moments of like fantastic emotional weight on the show. The character's done a lot in nearly 30 years that the show has been on the air. Now, Hank Azaria declined to take part in Ari's documentary. However, in a recent TMZ interview, he said, quote, "I think the documentary made some really interesting points and gave us a lot to think about, and we really are thinking about it. Definitely anyone who was hurt or offended by it, or by any character or vocal performance, it's really upsetting that it was offensive or hurtful to anybody." End quote. So he also talks about whether or not there needs to be further reflection or possible changes to the show, and particularly the character of Apu. He says, quote, "I think it's an important conversation worth having. We're still thinking about it. It's a lot to digest." End quote. So I've seen a lot of reactions to this quote from certain corners of the internet. You know the ones. The ragey place that claims that the cucks are ruining The Simpsons. Now, without getting too into how absolutely stupid this is based on what The Simpsons is and where it actually came from, here's where I ultimately come down on this. It's time for Apu to go away. Now, I'm going to admit my own complacency in this matter. It took me hearing from an Indian guy for me to realize how fucked up it is that Apu is basically a case of really overt brownface that exists in 2017. That's some fucking privilege that I got to check right now at the door. I want to say that it doesn't take away from the good things that I said before about Apu as a character, okay? I'll still be able to look back fondly on episodes like Homer's Barbershop Quartet or Homer and Apu. I still think that those are brilliant pieces of television, but that having been said, it doesn't mean that the overarching joke of Apu, which is Indian guy as a punchline, goes away. Let's put it another way. Amos and Andy can be looked back on with fondness, right? Like it's completely groundbreaking stuff for its time, but we wouldn't and shouldn't be okay with a couple of white guys playing blackface characters in 2017 and, you know, basically getting laughs out of really offensive caricatures. All of this sort of goes without saying that the representation in Hollywood of Indian actors is very, very limited. You know, there's, I think that Ari actually makes the point, like there's like 17 of them now. I'm not calling on the show to kill Apu off, but I think it's time to leave him rather where he belongs, which is just in the past. And I'm sorry if I'm stumbling over my words here. I want to try and get this right. Like I should say, like the two episodes that I listed there just a few minutes ago, I think that they handled a lot of the jokes surrounding Apu really, really well. In Homer's Barbershop Quartet, you know, they do this joke where, you know, the manager asks Apu's full name, and he says, Apu Nahasabima Penelon. He says, "That'll never fit on a marquee. We're going to call you Apu de Beau Marché." And Apu says, "That's a great insult against my family and my culture and my God, but okay." And, you know, that was more a joke about, like, he's willing to do anything for the American ideal of success, you know, fame. In Homer and Apu, when Homer and Apu go to meet with the head of the Kwik-E-Mart conglomerate. Yeah, it's kind of a joke about you know, Hindu monks, but you know, it's also ultimately a joke about how Homer is a bumbling American. So it's like it's punching in the right direction, but like more and more of what Apu actually is a punchline of listen to the funny Indian guy. And that's a problem for me. It's not even, wouldn't even be the first time, by the way, that they sort of faded a character away on The Simpsons. Now, of course, there's cases like Lionel Hutz and the other characters voiced by Phil Hartman. Now, of course, very different set of circumstances there. We don't see Troy McClure anymore because Phil Hartman himself is dead. But, you know, there have been documented points on, if you listen as obsessively as I do, to Simpsons DVD commentaries, where they'll talk about, you know, we just sort of stopped writing jokes for Barney because we didn't find him funny anymore. And, they didn't want to make fun of the town drunk at that point in time. Well, maybe it's time that we stop making fun of the Indian immigrant. I had one person ask me, would it be okay if they recast Apu? Fundamentally, I don't think that that's really worthwhile. It just sort of feels like a Band-Aid over the issue as it is. I was having this conversation with my girlfriend. It feels like it's just a Band-Aid over the Band-Aid solution that doesn't actually deal with the underlying, cut. We need a stitch here, not just a Band-Aid, basically. And, ultimately I don't like it when they recast characters. Like, it would be like if somebody else started voicing Bart instead of Nancy Cartwright. Just like, it would be just strange to me, and I just wouldn't be on board with it. I don't know. To me, it just it doesn't hurt the show if Apu isn't there anymore. Yeah, it's one less character, but Springfield is full of wonderful, vibrant characters that they can draw from. And you know what? Just let's see some more Mo. Mo. How do you like me? How do you like? I'm sorry about that. I really like Mo as a character. I want more Mo. So anyhow, that's my take on Apu. I think that it's just time for him to sort of fade into the background, but it doesn't take away from the moments that I love. It's passé in 2017. I think we can do better. Show like The Simpsons definitely can do better. So that's going to do it for that topic. Going to hear a little bit more music, and then we're going to do the second topic of the show today, and then I'm going to let you get on your way. I'm sure you still have some Christmas shopping to do. You should listen to my Christmas shopping episode, though. Rules for Christmas shopping. If you haven't heard them yet, make sure that you go back and listen to them so that you're not a douchebag in public. All right. So more music, and then we're gonna talk about the kid that got bullied. All right. So chances are, if you're on the internet, you have heard over the last little while, last week, about Keaton Jones. Keaton Jones is a kid just outside of Knoxville, Tennessee, I guess, who a video of whom has gone viral over the last little week, where he is pleading to the camera, being sort of interviewed by his mother, Kimberly, as to why he's being picked up early from school. And the reason why is that the kid is being being bullied. He quotes, "They make fun of my nose. They call me ugly. They say I have no friends." I guess it's been a situation where he's been pretty bullied, pretty ruthlessly bullied by the kids, sort of in his school. I'm not going to talk about sort of the circus that's sort of surrounding his mom. There was some pictures found online of her with a Confederate flag. Not really interested in getting into that topic today. There's some, rumors of her sharing this, hoping that it'll go viral in hopes to find some money. A lot of those have been sort of unsubstantiated. I believe it's Keaton's sister who actually got back to a journalist and said, we don't have any Indiegogo campaign on the go for this or anything like that. I'm not interested in the circus surrounding the mother, insofar as what type of person she is and why she decided to share this. Although I'm going to get into that for a second in just a couple minutes here. The reason that this went so viral is the kids sort of pleading to parents to talk to their kids about bullying. And you can see he's obviously very shaken up. He's being taken home early from school because he doesn't want to eat lunch in the cafeteria. And a number of celebrities have tweeted out their support for Keaton. From Chris Evans to a number of different professional wrestlers to sports stars, all sorts of stuff. all sorts of different people. I think Chris Evans even invited him to the premiere of the next Avengers film. Really a nice story overall. I think it's really great that these celebrities are using their platform to sort of say, like, hey, like, this kid is right. Bullying is bad, and it's, here's a face of it. Here's the one thing that I will say about the mother. Had this not gone viral in the way that it has, with, the kid getting a whole bunch of attention from major films, sports, television stars, man, Kimberly Jones, you, like, might have signed your kid's death warrant. Like, this is the thing that I can't help think when some of these sorts of videos do go viral. It's like I said, it's really nice that the celebrities are using their platform to help the kid, or to boost the kid, or to be nice to the kid. But my God, had they not, and just like one of those bullies gets a hold of that video because, like, their mother, meaning well, just says, "You're not bullying this child, are you?" Man, that kid's gonna get crucified. I would feel so bad for him. Like, in this case, it turned out pretty well, but, like, Jesus Christ, parents in the digital age, like, watch what you're doing, because, like, the world of hurt that Keaton could have had, like, he would have had to change schools, like, just straight up would have had to change schools. Oh my God. Anyhow, that's really all I had to say about that. All this stuff about her possibly being a racist because of the Confederate flag. I mean, hey, let's maybe get rid of the Confederate flag there, Kimberly. But whatever. And the rumors of this being about about money or whatever. I'm going to leave that aside. I don't really care about that in this case. It seems to be largely unsubstantiated anyhow. This is just what I got to say is, like, parents in the digital age, just watch what you're doing. Like, if I ever have kids, I'm not gonna share their stuff out for the world to see like that until they're old enough to know what is out there and what's going to be out there. Like, I grew up in sort of a period of time that, like, I had a digital life from a pretty early age, okay? But I also was, like, not in the same way that we have it now. It was still largely, the internet was still largely anonymous back then. You didn't really share your real name with your internet friends. I'm using air quotes here. Of course, that's changed now with the way social media works. But, like, allow your kids to have a little bit of anonymity. Let them have some decision in the amount of them that is put out there. I'm saying this as a guy who hosts a podcast that he has named after himself, but, like, that was a conscious decision that I made as a 28-year-old man. I'm recording this, by the way. It's like 2:30 in the morning because I get off late from work, so I'm starting to trip over my words here. I think that's about all I'm going to say about this. Just, parents, just be kind to your children. You wouldn't, at least I hope you wouldn't, share, like, their naked baby photos with a bunch of random strangers. Maybe don't post potentially embarrassing videos as well. Even if the message is nice, it could have gone very differently for you. And that's going to do it. Like I said, just a quick 2-segment episode here for a bonus episode on your Thursday. I hope you have a great weekend. Look out for Monday's episode. Like I said, great interview with Luke Hardiman. The first half of it. As always, this show is produced by me with music from Won't Please Here. You can check them out at loyaltyfreakmusic.com. You can follow the show on facebook.com/The John DuLong Show, and you can follow me on social media at Jibberdy, JIBERDY. Make sure you subscribe to the show on iTunes and Google Play, and if you could, rate and review, get some more folks listening. Another great way you can help is to tell a friend about the show, get the word out, and of course, tune in every Monday and sometimes on Thursdays for your weekly dose of Monday morning nonsense. So, on this Thursday for John DuLong, I'm John DuLong, and remember, well, I was going to tell you a time-traveling joke here, but you guys didn't like it. Thanks.